I think one of the things that I've learned is what I think is a good idea may be a good idea, but it may not be a good idea. And you want to find out who is a potential customer. Another thing I'm doing on the side is I have a business called Water Cooler Football, and I teach people how to watch football games. And I do this because of so many people came up to me saying, you understand the language, you understand what they're talking about at a meeting. It gives you ability to talk to men in many cases. And the first people who came to me asking me to teach them over a beer how to watch football were men who were left out. Like the guys that said, I was a geek in elementary school, high school, college. Now I thought in the business world I could get included and accepted. Great idea. I found a New England patriot to do this with me. We do these workshops called Water Cooler Football. We've done 2 of them. We can't get more than 10 people to attend. Now, I don't know if it's because Tom Brady got injured or if it's just no longer of interest. So I think this is a great idea, but until you get customers, it's not necessarily a great idea. So again, I don't know if it's a marketing sort of a thing. So you want to kind of know you're not necessarily always the best judge. I mean, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Pet Rocks, but you know, what an idiot idea. How well did that do? You know, there's somebody owns an island in the Caribbean because of Pet Rocks. So, you know, in some cases, that's been really kind of humbling. And when people say it's a great idea, ask them, would you pay for that? You know, and that was what we did with Lost and Found. I still have people who say to me, will you please bring that back? I would pay for that. You know, and in some cases, the people who you think are going to pay for it aren't necessarily the people who I thought would pay for it in the beginning. I didn't know anybody would pay to teach me to learn to teach their networks. And when my first book came out, there was some miscommunication with McGraw-Hill. They positioned it as a job hunting book. Well, most of my clients are accounting firms. There's no way they're going to order 400 books and on the back say, this is a great book to help you find a job. So fortunately, the first printing of the book sold really fast, and we redid it. But part of what was fascinating to me was how many companies want to keep their people, and they want to keep good people, and they want to mentor them, they want to grow them. They don't want someone to say a teller for their whole life. You got a great person, you want to see them grow. So networking is a lot of internal networking. Because I was in Asia, and I was a racial minority because I went to an Asian school, I talk about race, and it seems to really work. I mean, I will be more than happy in sometimes to just talk about some of the challenges of being a minority in this country. And I interviewed, I had a panel of 4 attorneys one time, and one of them was an African-American woman, and I said, do you want to talk about race or not? Anybody here from Boston? So race is tough in Boston. It really is. It's a very tough topic. And so I said, you know, let's talk about you and networking. It's obviously different. You're an African-American woman, and there was a gasp in the room, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And I'm like, just ask the question, shut up. And it was amazing the conversation that we got into afterwards about all of that. I spoke a few weeks ago for a group called Professionals of Color. And I said to her, you know I'm white? And she goes, yeah, that's okay, you know, but I was the only white in the room. So in many cases, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that a group of color would want me in, but they do. So it's easy to kind of drink your own Kool-Aid. And so a good thing to do is to really find out what are the different things that you do.